Okay, so in 2.4 we are going to use our graphing calculators to help us solve linear systems. And so you've used graphing calculators before. There's a few new features and stuff like that that we're going to go over. You should have notes on this with screenshots, but it's also good to work along with me through the video. And knowing how to use your graphing calculator is going to help you on different tests like your ACT and SAT tests, because that is what you're going to be allowed to use. I'm also going to show you how to use Desmos. Desmos is an online graphing system that you can use to help you with homework and stuff in the class if you don't have a graphing calculator. But it is beneficial to learn how to use a graphing calculator specifically. And so there's graphing calculators that you can download on your phone. There's different things like that. And so those resources are found in Schoology. Now, so to start, we are going to do graphing systems. We're going to talk with the calculator. And so we are going to write equations. And so the first thing that we do is we go to this y equals button, and we can type in those two equations. So I have 2, and this is my x button right here, plus 4. So I can go back, highlight over it, hit delete, 4, and then I can go down, and I have 3x plus 2. Okay, then the next thing that is important when we are graphing, we want to make sure our windows is set to what we need it to be. And so this is a very simple 2-equation line graph. And so when we do our windows, we want it to be our x-axis. We want the numbers to go from -10 all the way to 10. And so we have to hit negative instead of -50. And so here's our negative sign, not the subtraction sign, the negative sign. -10, we don't want it to go to 100, we just want it to go to 10. Same with our y-axis. And so this is basically where you want to start. When we get into some word problems and real life problems, say you're making like $20 an hour, like you probably need to have a bigger window or bigger view of the graph. And so you can adjust these a little bit. The next thing we're going to talk about is graphing it. So once your windows are set, you can hit graph. If you don't set your windows and you hit graph, then you might not be able to see the graph. And so here's our graph. The nice thing about the newer calculators is they're colored, so you can have the blue line and the red line and know which equations those are. You can zoom in and out on them and different things like that. And so the trace button is something that you guys probably use a lot. If you hit trace up here, you can go left and right on your arrows and it slides up and down that blue line. If you want to switch to the red line, you hit the up and down arrows. And so I would switch to the red line, and now I can slide up and down that red line using my left and right arrow. Another thing that you can do is you can do zoom. And so if we hit the zoom button, we want to zoom in on something, and so we can select this 2, and I can slide this little, it looks like a target or like a scope, and so I want to slide it over this intersection point because that's the point that we're like focusing on. And so once I have it in the spot I want, I can hit enter, and so it's going to redraw my graph like zoomed in on that point. And so you can do that if you want. That changes your windows. You can zoom out, different things like that. So I'm going to go back to zoom. I'm going to hit zoom out, and I'm just going to hit enter, and now it zoomed me back out. Okay. But so those are just some little features. This is the main thing that we want, like the little programs that the calculator does for us. And so here I have this calc button, which is right here, that you have to use the second option for. And so what we can do is we have value, 0, minimum, maximum, intersect. right now, intersection is probably the one we're going to use the most, but value and zero are good to know, and then later in the year we'll talk about minimum, maximum a little bit more. And so I'm going to hit my second calc, or it would be the trace button, but since I hit the second, it pops that one up. And we're going to talk about the value button. And so what the value button does is it allows you to plug in an x value. So you can say x equals 7, and it will give you out the answer for y. Or you can say x equals negative 100, and it will give you out the answer for y. And so we can do that if we're evaluating functions, but normally what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the y-intercept. And so our y-intercept is on our y-axis right here, where x equals 0. And so I can plug x equals 0 in, and it'll give me out the answer of 4. And so it crosses my y-axis at 4. If I want to know what the red line is, I can hit the up and down arrows, and it tells me that my y-intercept for the red line is 2. And so this is nice if it's not an exact answer and you need to know, or it's not like a whole number and you need to know an exact answer. These are nice to use. And so that's how you use the value button. Our second one that we're going to talk about is the 0 button. And so if I go back to my calc options and I click on the 0 button, what that is going to do is it allows me to find your x-axis, or your x-intercept. And so this blue line, my x-intercept is right here somewhere, and the calculator is giving me this left bound question mark. And so what it wants me to do, it wants me to slide my cursor to the left of the intersection. And so once I have my cursor on the left side of that x-intercept, I would hit enter. And then I want the right bound now. And so I would slide up. On the right side of the intersection, I would hit enter. And then the calculator says, do you want me to guess what the intersection point is in between that? And you say yes. And so now it gives me, that's my x-intercept. If I want the right line, I can't just go up and down. This is not on my red line, and so you would have to do it again. You would have to go to calc, you have to do 0, and you'd have to find the left bound and the right bound of the red line. But the main one that we want to do is we want to find the intersection point. And so it's very similar to what we just did. So if I select number 5, because that's what intersection is, it wants you to select the first curve, which is just the line. So you're going to have 2 different lines because that's what makes the intersection. So you can either select the blue line or you can select the red line. So it doesn't matter which one you select, it also shows you which line you're on in the colors if you have one of the newer calculators. So first curve, so you select the red line, you hit enter. Second curve would be the blue line, and I'm on the blue line because my colors are blue and it's right there on the blue line, so I'd hit enter. Do you want it to guess the intersection point? And you say yes, and so you hit enter again. So that's the intersection point, that's 2, 8. So that would be, you could solve that using elimination, you could solve that using substitution, or you can graph it and it would be perfect if you graphed it and drew straight lines. Otherwise, we can use our graphing calculators to help us solve for those intersection points. Okay, another cool thing that we can do, instead of looking at this data as a graph, we can look at it as a table. So if you hit second and you hit table, it's all of those points that you would have found. And so here, if you would plug in 0 into the equation that we wrote, you got out 4. 1, 6. This is how you first learned how to graph lines. You'd plug in a value for x and you would solve for it, and then you would plot all those points and connect the dots. And so this is helpful if you're trying to find a bunch of points. You can go to the table. It can show you that kind of stuff. Another thing that is nice to know is sometimes you get really far off and like you have outrageously big or really, really small numbers. And so you can go to table setup, and that's going to help you right here. Second, and then table setup. And you can start the table at whatever x value you want. So if I want to start it at -20, I can type in -20 and then I can go back to my table, and now my x starts at -20, so I have all those values for those two equations right there. So that's another little nice thing to know. And so now that's how you kind of use your graphing calculator. Now we're going to switch over and we're going to talk about Desmos a little bit. And so here we have Desmos is just a website, and it's linked on Schoology for you, but it's Desmos graphing calculator. So desmos.com/calculator. Okay, and here everything's a lot simpler because you don't have to go through all the programming to help you do it, but there are a few things that confuse some kids. So I can type in my equations here, so you would use your keyboard, or you can use this little keyboard down here. I think it's easier just to use your keyboard on your Chromebook or on your computer. So I can graph that line, and then I just click down for another line, and I have 3x plus 2. You can now, so we talked next, after we graph the two lines, we might have to zoom out, that kind of stuff. Well, you can just drag this wherever you want to go. And then the easy thing is you can find all of these points that we found just by clicking on them. And so that's a lot easier. But like I said, you can't use this on your like ACT test or anything like that. But if you are doing homework and you want to do something a little bit quicker, you can do it on here. But it will find all those points for you. Some things that you need to know: your home button will default you back to 10, -10 to 10, -10 to 10. Okay. The other thing that will happen is you can adjust these just like we did in to be like -100 to 100 if we wanted to make our graph bigger for some reason. So we can have different values on the x-axis and so on. You can mess with this stuff if you want, but these are really the only things you need to know. But like I said, you can zoom in and out using like your fingers on your Chromebook or your pad. Another thing that's kind of nice is you can go to this edit list and you can change the colors if you want, and you can make them a dotted line or you can make it a purple line. So that's kind of nice that you can change that if you have a lot of graphs and you need to change them. The other thing you can do is you can click this and it will turn the graph off. So if you just want to look at one graph, you can do that and not have to look at both at the same time. And you can turn them all off, turn them all back on. And so this is you guys can use this, but you guys have a worksheet that will kind of go over you using one of these tools. If you plan on going to college, you plan on taking your ACT, that kind of stuff, I would get a graphing calculator and I would just use that. But if you don't plan on having to do all those tests or use a graphing calculator in the future, like I would just use Desmos. So